This video is going to be another advanced power level video with advanced information regarding the 447 paradox and how you can save time when you do get to that level. Let's focus on, don't worry, there'll be some more information for players that are not 447. I'm giving something to everybody with this video. Let's talk first about the 447 paradox. What do I mean by this? If you come to my rewards pass, I can confirm to you I'm 447. It says it right there, look. Yeah, we're 447. Now the reason why this is such an important magical level is because then all the primes that you are due to get will be dropping at 450 gear. To get to 450 gear score, you need every single slot to be 450. If you do your 447 plan wrong, you will be stuck at 447, 448 and 449, potentially for 2 weeks. Some of you could be stuck there for 2 weeks. So you need to listen to this information very carefully, because you need a plan for that 447 grind, because it could turn, that 3 power level could turn ages and ages and you'll get fed up. You need a good plan and you need to not burn yourself out, and that's what I'm going to help you with. First thing is, you need a plan for the 447. I'm going to tell you the plan, but I'm first going to tell you why 450 is still important to the game, contrary to what people are saying. A lot of people are tapping out at this grind and saying, no, I'm going to wait till Ash and Iron, and you can certainly do that. To players who are adamant and fixated and still want to hit 450, well, there's still a massive bonus to it. There really is. Now, if we look at how long is left, you need to make this decision based on the time you have left and what level you are. But there's 24 days left. That's plenty time, mind. That's a lot of time to get a lot of primes, in actual fact. It really is. But on the other side of the argument, it's also not a lot of time to wait until Ash and Iron. So you've got your decision making there. But if you get to 450 before then, the benefits are as follows. You are going to be able to farm tier 5 armor and weapons to your heart's consent until Ash and Iron. This is going to give players quite a big advantage. Now, a lot of yous are saying you're tapping out because you farmed Solstice for tier 5 gear. The thing about it is, there's many different armor sets for different things in the game, and I can 100% guarantee you, your one tier 5 set build is not enough. You need multiple tier 5 sets for multiple different builds, because Destiny 2's sandbox will always constantly change. So there's always that. Solstice is ending Tuesday. You are not going to be able to farm tier 5 armor at 300 power or 320 power. That liberty will be lost. However, I'm pleased that you could. I'm very happy that Solstice has been that good to the point where people have been able to farm tier 5 armor. This has maintained the player base to be strong numbers after Edge of Fate's launch, which wasn't very good, may I add. The launch wasn't fantastic. It was, 7 out of 10 or whatever, right? Disappointing in some areas. So, actual fact, a lot of areas. I'm being soft on the game. But Solstice has been the best Solstice we've ever had. This is the best Solstice I've ever played. And guess what? There's no event. Like, there is an event, but there's no activity. But just goes to show, you don't need an activity, man. You just need the game to rain loot. Going forward, every single event, weekly event like this, should just rain tier 5s. That should be the theme of it. That will motivate people to get online. I've looked at the player base numbers, the total of it. Yeah, we're including PS5, Xbox and Steam. Yes, there's a way to do it. I've told people how to do this. If you're not interested, you're not interested, but I'm just here to tell you that the overall total numbers are quite solid because of the tier 5 reigning on Solstice. This has upped the player base as opposed to what it would have been. If Solstice had not hit hard, you would have seen a steep player base number drop. Don't use Steam database as your number reference. We are not just Steam players. How can you be so arrogant to think that there's only Steam players that exist in the world? We have Xbox players. The poor Xbox players never get any shout-outs. We have PS5 Sony players. And yes, Sony's absorbing Bungie. Yeah? Maybe a bit of PlayStation exclusives for me. That'll do us. That'll make me happy. No, but seriously, The player-based numbers have remained solid because of the Solstice tier 5 reigning. After Tuesday, that's not going to be the case. So 450 Power Guardians are going to take advantage because when you play Crucible, you can get up to 5-6 pieces sometimes that are tier 5 drops. We've seen the footage. There's footage out there showing you that. Not only that, you can farm tier 5 weapons and armor from the loot cave. Now, generally, tier 5 stats are 5% drop. It's a 5% drop chance to get a tier 5, roughly, approximately. That drop rate chance changes when you get to 450, which means you can farm the loot cave on Kepler or even do your missions. Obviously, none of us really like the missions, but we can do them as well. Massive benefits from the tier 5 situation. The portal, the solo ops and fire team ops and etc. isn't going to drop tier 5 loot, and that is the big thing. It is going to still be 5% drop chance. But yeah, there's massive benefits. So now on with my magical plan. What is my magical plan so that I get to 450 and I'm not grinding for an extra 2-3 weeks? What do? Well, first, you need to establish what every slot and every single source of your 450 gear is going to be. So, if we come over to the portal here and the seasonal hub, I still have Conquest Grandmaster Delve. If you still have it, you keep that and you hold on to it daily until 447 if your plan is to go that high, because this is going to save you a bunch of time. We can actually denote that the exact drops from Grandmaster Delve are as follows: 1 kinetic weapon, 2 energy weapons, and boots. So I'm getting a kinetic and an energy straight off the rip at 450. And I'm getting boots. So are you with me so far? Kinetic's covered, energy's covered, boots is covered, right? Got it? Right, now we come to Zavala, our king of the Vanguard systems. He has 450 heavy for me. So this is establishing to me, I have my kinetic, energy, and heavy at 450. Boom, plan is done, finished for weapons. Now I need to think about armor. Don't pick up boots, I will be a fool to pick them up because Delve drops it. So now I need to then pick up something else. Now I can tell you, if you've still got Solstice armor, you can then go further with this. If you kept a full set or you're flying up. Now I've claimed all my pieces on this character, but not on my hunter. I still have a chest plate. I still have one single piece left, which is clutch. It's clutch because it allows me to just get enough power. Watch this. Kinetic, energy, heavy covered, boots and chest plate covered. That leaves me with helmet, gauntlets and class item for 450. So what do I then now do? I then look at Zavala again and pick up. This will be the last thing I do, by the way. But if I need it, I'll pick up a class item. I'll pick up a class item because they are the rare. To my experiences, they're the rarest piece. So I'll probably pick up a 450 from Zavala. Now I've already claimed one, so I've only got one. But that then leaves me with 2 slots, a helmet and gauntlets. But I can then just relax until Tuesday. Zavala will reset his armor. He will go back to 0 out of 2. And I'll be able to pick up the helmet and the gauntlets. And I'm 450 without having to work for it. So do you see now how the 447 plan has saved a week of gameplay just by having a plan for it? By the way, my plan was messed up. My plan could have been way better than this if we'd all realized 3 weeks ago, yeah, that the Grandmaster Whisper does drop. You know, if we'd saved it for that as well, man, I would have flew up. So future seasons, you need to save conquests. If the system is staying the same, you never do conquests until the very end of your power level curve. But yeah, that is my 450 plan. So you see now, you would get bumped. If you don't have a plan, you'll be stuck at 447, 448, 449 for ages. And you won't get tier 5. The tier 5 buff will only proc at 450. It won't proc at 449. So you're in an unfortunate position if you are 449 and you're not getting the tier 5 buff. You'll have to wait for Zavala. Now, with seasonal events, they'll drop primes as well. The reward track will drop you primes. So you can see here it confirms it. Look, if I had this, I'll be able to pick it up, but I don't need it. So when the heavy metal event comes, that should have primes. I'm assuming that it should. Okay, so that's the 447 Done. Now let's give you some advices for people who are in lower in power. Since this week, there seems to have been, well, I know that for a fact there is. PvP got a prime engram buff drop rate. Bungie has said this themselves. This isn't Illuminati, Area 51 aliens, do they exist? Nothing like that. This exists, this. Stop trying to say it doesn't exist when it does. I've went and played PvP for the last few days, on and off. And I've gotten countless primes in PvP. So it does. Sometimes it's 1 in 3, 4 games. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's 10, 12 games. But I'm going to tell you what I did do with Crucible. So we've got Control, Scorched, Comp, and we've obviously got Trials. Now Trials does drop a lot of primes, but I didn't play Trials this weekend. What I've done this weekend is I played Clash. Clash is the quickest games. Well, Comp could be. I don't know if you get steamed. But focusing on what we've got here, Clash to me is the quickest and most enjoyable playlist. Because it's just Clash. And if you stomp a team, then you'll be doing it in 7 minutes a match. If you get stomped, you'll get stomped in 7 minutes. Whereas Control is generally always 10 minutes. Sometimes a team will beat it before 10 minutes. But Control's a very much slower playlist, alright? So Clash is what I farmed, and I was getting a lot of primes of it. I did do some Control as well, here and there. And I got primes of Control as well. I also done Comp and got primes off that as well. Because what's happening is your reputation seems to be linked to prime engram drop rate. Every rank up, Brave, 1, 2, 3, Heroic, 1, 2, 3. Every time you go up to a new rank, there's a chance at a tier 5. The tier 5 will then auto turn into a +3 drop. Every single tier 5 I've gotten from Crucible over the last 3 days has turned into a prime engram, and it's been a +3 drop. And I've had loads of prime engrams from Crucible, and you've got a large data pool to pull from me. Well, you haven't got it on numbers. I'm not giving you the numbers now. I'm just telling you. Am I not allowed just to tell you I've got a lot of primes? You should be able to just believe me on that. Why would I need to lie to you about it? I'm a PVE main. Do you think I want to just play PvP? No way. But obviously, I have. For good reason. Because I knew there was some Crucible buff. Not only that, it's for mental health. Solo ops. I've done 400-500, more than that probably, solo ops. At least 500 missions, solo. Farming Caldera, at least 200 of those. K1, at least 200 of those. Creation, at least maybe nearly 150 of those. I've farmed them all, yeah. I've even farmed Pinnacle Ops as well, a lot of Pinnacle Ops. So I knew that it was time for me to move over to Crucible, and I made the right move. It allowed me to get to 447 quicker. If we have a look quickly, I mean, look, it says requires a full set of new gear, right? So if we find where it says, I need to read this to you because this makes sense. Crucible reward multiplier. Higher Crucible rank and higher reward rank improves reward quality. Your Crucible reward multiplier is determined by your Crucible rank, your power, and your equipped new gear. There you go. New gear. It's telling you this. Maybe you're rocking old shotguns, and that's why you aren't getting primes, because you're rocking old shotguns. I just ran Edge of Fate gear. That's all I done. And I was seeing primes rain on me, basically. Now, that's another thing as well. Like, what's new gear? Like, I was using a Polaris Lance last week, and somebody was saying, why are you using Polaris Lance? That's not Edge of Fate gear. And I'm like, are you for real though? Really? There's no way that you've just said that to me, man. There's no way he's just said that. Can we not operate menus, Destiny 2 players? It shows you it here. Polaris Lance is Edge of Fate gear. Whether it launched in 2018 or not, it makes one iota difference. We're not bothered when it launched, people. We're bothered about the blue turquoise ribbon. That's all we care about. Does that weapon have a turquoise ribbon? Yes or no? If the answer's yes, use it. If the answer's no, I recommend that you don't. Because of what the Crucible reward multiplier is saying, and obviously my myths about the solo ops and all that stuff. So there you go. That's what I've said. But yeah, Crucible, like I say, ranks you really good. You know, I'm a PVE main, so I shouldn't really be saying this, but, well, you wouldn't think I would say this, would you? You would think I would try to find a reason to not say it. But obviously, no. Even a PVE main, take it from me. And Trials is no different. Trials is no different. You get a lot of primes off Trials. And you can switch off, win or lose, you get loot. So that is the advices I've advised for people who are different power levels on what you should do, you know, between all the way from 200 power to 300 to 400, you know, whether you should be doing Kell's Fall farming or solo ops farming, you know, and what to do with your cards. Everyone's different power levels, so you've got to adjust your power card, adjust it to your level. You can never over level a card, that's for sure. Like, for example, let's just give you a quick example, because this video is probably done now. I'm 400 power. Sorry, 446, 447. The GMs are 400. It's B. It's not even B plus card. Never run this. This is a let's crank it down. Look at this, Master, C grades. This is a big mistake. Never run a C grade card, B grade card. Always B plus. Always crank your card up. Always crank your card up. Whatever power level you are, 400 power, crank that card up. It doesn't need to be too much. That's too high. Do you see the chunk? Let's bring it down to what I would do. See that? That's about okay. Half. You could go lower than that, honestly. I was getting away with a third and getting A grade scoring. As long as you speedrun B plus cards, you get A grade scores. And even if you don't, you're still going to get base power dots from a B plus card. There's not that much of a difference between B plus and A. You can get a prime tier 5 off a B plus. You can. I've got it countless times. The only difference between a B plus and an A grade card, in my opinion, mainly, is Ascendant Shards. You get far more Ascendant Shards on A grade cards. A good rolled B plus card will give you plenty of loot. It's only those 400 power guardians that suffer. There's a sticking point between 400 and 410 where people really do struggle. Once you get past that hill, by the way, that's the worst hill. It's the worst level in between 400 to 410, and a lot of people, that's where people have slowed down. I can honestly tell you, once you get to 410, it starts to become a lot easier on your cards. It's just that little hill. You've got to go over that hill. Once you get past it, man, you can fly a little bit after that. That was the video on the advices regarding all of this leveling information. So hope you enjoyed. Thank you.